In chapter 5, Dhyan Yoga, the path of wisdom, Lord Krishna said, this imperishable philosophy I taught to Vivasvat, the founder of the sun dynasty. Vivasvat gave it to Manu, the lawgiver, and Manu to King Ishvaku. The divine kings knew it, for it was their tradition. Then after a long time, at last it was forgotten. It is the same ancient path that I have now revealed to you, since you are my devotee and my friend. It is the supreme secret. Arjun asked, my lord, Vivasvat was born before you. How then can you have revealed it to him? Lord Krishna replied, I have been born again and again, from time to time. You too, O Arjun. My births are known to me, but you know not your own. I have no beginning, though I am imperishable, as well as Lord of all that exists, yet by my own will and power do I manifest myself. Whenever spirituality decays and materialism is rampant, then, O Arjun, I reincarnate myself. यहाँ पर we'll take up the exposition. At the beginning of the chapter, Krishna gives Arjun the imperishable philosophy, as he calls it, or the path of wisdom. At the time they were in, it is Dwapar Yuga already. So he is telling Arjun about how he had also given this philosophy to the Arjuns of the Satya Yuga, like Vivasvan, who in turn gave it to Manu. But in between the yugs, it was completely forgotten. And yet in any yuga, truth remains the same. Truth can never change. What changes is its interpretation. Hence Krishna says that the same ancient path he gives to Arjun, whom he considers his disciple and his friend. This confuses Arjun, so he asks that Vivasvan was born before him, then how could he, Krishna, have given it to Vivasvan? To this he replies that he is born again and again, and so is Arjun. Only his births are known to him, but ours are not known to us. When he says that his births are known to him, what he means is conscious death and conscious birth. This is the difference between the intellect and the soul. When we try to remember our past births with our intellect, our memory fails us. And we cannot remember what happens to us during birth and death, and even during sleep. Birth and death make use of a much higher type of energy that the human body normally cannot withstand. That is why human beings at birth and death have their memory totally blanked out. Totally blanked out, as it were, so much so that we think nothing occurred before that point which is worth remembering. But with the soul, it is different. For it knows and remembers everything. We all have our permanent seed atoms, but in each life we are born with a new personality and with a new mind, so we cannot remember our past births with our new mind. But he is soul consciousness, and hence he can remember all his past incarnations. If we contact our permanent seed atoms, we can communicate with our soul consciousness to know this. In our lifetime, we must train our registration area to contact our divine center, so that at birth and after death, it can even contact our permanent seed atom. What it is right now, it is because it is not trained to do so, and that is why contact at birth and at death becomes impossible, and hence our past births are not registered by us. But at every birth, the same divine center enters the new body having no knowledge of past births. The body has no knowledge of all the past births. The personality has no knowledge. The divine center knows it all. Thus Krishna says, he has no beginning. This is because in consciousness, there is no break. It is always there. So it has no beginning. And consequently, there is no end. He does not have an end. In yoga, what we are trying to do is to bridge this gap. To bridge up where there is no link. Thus, by bridging our consciousness in sleep and in between incarnations, we are making consciousness prevail during birth, death, and even in sleep. Thus making one continuous life without any breaks. In short, this is the purpose of yoga. In the sutra, when he says, I have no beginning, though I am imperishable as well as Lord of all that exists, yet by my own will and power do I manifest myself. He goes on to say, whenever spirituality decays and materialism is rampant, then, O Arjun, I reincarnate myself. To protect the righteous, to destroy the wicked, and to establish the kingdom of God, I am reborn from age to age. He who realizes the divine truth concerning my birth and life is not born again, and when he leaves his body, he becomes one with me. Many have merged their existence in mine, being freed from desire, fear, and anger, filled always with me, and purified by the illuminating flame of self-abnegation. Howsoever men try to worship me, so do I welcome them. By whatever path they travel, it leads to me at last. Here, in Sutra number 13 in chapter 5 of Dhyan Yoga, the path of wisdom, there is one sutra, Sutra number 13, which says, the four divisions of society, the wise, the soldiers, the merchant, and the laborer, were created by me according to the natural distribution of qualities and instincts. I am the author of them, though I myself do no action, and I am changeless. I'll repeat that. I am the author of them, though I myself do no action, and am changeless. This Sutra number 13, Mr. T says, did not exist, and it was added later by the priest class as being the words of Krishna. So there will be no exposition of Sutra number 13. In Sutra number 12, let me repeat, he says, those who look for success worship the powers, and in this world their actions bear immediate fruit. Sutra number 14, my actions do not fetter me, nor I desire anything that they can bring. He who thus realizes me is not enslaved by action. In the light of this wisdom, our ancestors who sought deliverance performed their acts. You should act also as did our fathers of old. What is action and what is inaction? It is a question which has bewildered the wise, but I will declare unto you the philosophy of action, and knowing it, you shall be free from evil. But before I continue with the exposition of this, let me go back and finish the other exposition of the earlier sutras.